Sp4zie commentary and plenty.
Hello YouTube, Sp4zie coming right at you with another commentary. Today we're playing Ashe, the new, refreshed, improved Ashe. And we're playing with 4 CG farts in a normal game. We managed to queue up with some decent opponents, so we had a lot of fun in this game. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it. Get yourself a drink. I'm drinking some juice today. Strawberry. Delicious. So we did the golems here, me and Prophet, and we, I don't know if it was the right way to do it. We're still trying to figure stuff out. I have no idea how to play AD carry these days. I'm just winging it, man. But I've been playing a little bit of Ashe and trying to figure out, you know, where she's at right now. And we'll get into that in a second. But first things first, runes and masteries are pretty darn standard, I figured. It's attack speed, quints, and we have the attack damage marks, armor seals and magic resist glyphs, and then 21, 9, and 0. Now, Ashe feels a little bit more modern to me right now, if you know what I mean by that. She's no longer this stale volley machine. She's more of a single target DPS who actually can melt tanks pretty quickly with a Q if you max it. And more, the volley sort of got nerfed because it now makes sense the way it hits people. So it's more now a tool for you to, of course, deal damage and slow people that are out of range, but also set up your Q to get quickly full stacks on it when it's off cooldown so you can engage and do a lot of single target DPS. Here they're gonna go completely ham, everything's gonna be used, and I'm gonna manage to get out just with a sliver of health, and they're super low as well. They flash like everything has been used, and we're super low, so we're calling out for Team Study-san to come and get a little gang going. And we're staying because we want to try and bait them into this engage, and we figure that jungler will be here, so we're trying to announce that we have a decent, you know, grasp of that. He's got to be bots, and sure enough, there he shows up. And what he does is a little bit weird. He sort of tries and go in and ignores Jimster, which is, you know, it's an old deer. He's gonna slap your face in, and then he has to flash out, and we're gonna grab a kill. Nice flash from Jim. Keep pursuing, keep doing damage. He has nothing up. Go for it. I don't know if his jump is on cooldown too, but the volley is gonna secure the kill, so that's gonna be a decent start for us. Now, in general, in this game, we're gonna be doing A-OK bottom, I'd say, while top and mid is going to be very, very heavily in the enemy's favor. They're going to do good work from their side, and they are going to be very strong. So that's why this fight turned very interesting, because it's sort of a very even matchup in that sense, because we'll get pretty strong, me and Prophet down here, but we'll have a very tough time handling the other lane. So it was actually a really enjoyable game. But progressing further, we have the BF advantage. I do go in with I don't know if that was the right call. I think that I assumed that the Q would have hit my Prophet, but it actually hit the minion, and I sort of went in anyways. But we're adding a lot of pressure here, a nice enhanced Q and a nice follow-up. I don't commit more than that because I know that he has his heal up, so I really don't want to take too many turret shits. That's what we're gonna call it from now on. Here we go. This is a little bit of a interesting thing that I decided to include in here, because I want to know if this happened to you guys, because I think it's now at least. We're doing a lot of damage here, we're zoning them, we have a pickaxe as well right now, and I see an opening, I go in, and the arrow is gonna fly over Tristana. Okay. And I talked to Prophet and I showed him, you know, this footage, and he was like, on my screen, the arrow went in between Braum and Tristana, and so he actually laughs in the footage here. He actually laughs. It's like, oh, you missed. But I was like, what? This is bugged. What was that? And it happened to me earlier as well. I had a game versus a Diana where I, you know, 2 of the arrows that was on top of her on my screen just didn't hit. And this is actually me. I'm sitting here explaining this to Prophet while I'm dying, because that's why I'm playing so sloppy that I could even have healed and survived. But hey, that's my bad. But we actually managed to sneak a Drake afterwards, because they do a little bit of a fail recall, and we rotata accordingly. So that was a good job by us. Take a sip of that Jace. Now, we're in a decent spot, like I said. We're feeling pretty good. We're shoving in the lane, and we're looking to add pressure, because right now that's the good thing about Ashe. If we were to go into some sort of a slight review of where she's at, she has a lot of pressure, and look at that Q damage, and the poke from Prophet with the enhanced Q is also a lot of damage, obviously, but I mean, she has a lot of 1v1 pressure right now, which is great, because that's what she was lacking in comparison to other ADCs. Here comes Azir down for ganking. We're gonna be super scared of him during this game. That's a fail E. He goes in, so I decide to arrow, but he's running cleanse, so out he goes. But we're trying to get in the mindset of really being very scared of him because he's had a good laning phase, and likewise the top lane Nidalee. But yeah, Ashe, if you get a beefy support, in my opinion, Karma might not be... I mean, there's poke there, but in my opinion, Karma might not be the, best pick for an Ashe. What you want in general, I think, is a pretty beefy support who can, like for instance a Braum that we're up against would be kind of ideal for Ashe because Braum sets up the free DPS from Ashe while also protecting her, and her immobility is sort of like countered in that sense, which is, a really good lane, I think. However, the Qs from Braum, the passive stacks from Braum, doesn't apply quicker with your Q. So a lot of people think that it's like, oh, it's like 4 projectiles, it's gonna insta-proc. No, that's not how it works. It's actually 1 projectile, so keep that in mind. So what happened there was we 1v1 Tristana. Meanwhile, they pushed mid and almost got, the inhib turret. And we were able to counter that with Drake. And a decent fight here to start off with, where we grab a kill, but we lose 1. But, as for now, that's pretty worth. But we decide to push out the mid afterwards. I do have my IE and some crit chance coming in. I feel like IE is still, I'm gonna go ahead and say mandatory on Ashe. You really want that IE for the enhanced damage. Your crit is, you're always gonna crit, as you know, if you hit them with an ability or 2 auto attacks in once, or in succession. And you always want to bring up that crit chance and bring up the crit damage most specifically, and try and deal. If you don't, I feel like you don't just utilize the way Ashe's, kit works. We found Tristana there, we pushed the turret, didn't get it, but here again, you can see the surprise damage of Ashe with a fully stacked Q. Just gonna do... Maybe that wasn't even fully stacked, I don't know, but it's a lot of single target damage. Azir's gonna try and go in on me, but it's actually a little bit of a fail engage by him. We try to kite here, I do die, but I grab a double kill, and, well, that stupid Nidalee gets away because she's running in the jungle. But I do feel like Ashe is good, she's way better, she did hit, there was a nerf to her W, but the Q is way better for her laning and for her end game and for everything. So I really do feel like they did a good job here with this, and the arrow is still there the same way it was. The improved hawk shot obviously is a good thing. It does give you a lot of map pressure if you use it correctly. I don't yet. Here I try to duel the Tristana, and I actually managed to, but I die because of that bomb. And they get a Drake, and they get a lot of kills, and they actually work on their inhib, so it's looking pretty grim at this point. Azir did a lot of AoE damage in that fight, and they just positioned themselves pretty well, because it was a 4v5 in the beginning, so they played that very well. So what we decide to do, because all the lanes are pushing, we just go ham mid. Even though there are super creeps coming up against us, we do a little, mega push mid to get 2 turrets, even out that gold a little bit, and then we just want to try and disengage here. I do find Azir, because that is the main target I want to focus on. But he gets away. So let's discuss this team comps a little bit, because it's pretty darn rough for us right now. So Ashe needs a beefy front line in order to be most efficient. She needs someone to peel for her, and for her to just add that slow and add that automatic crit chance. Gragas goes completely ham here and fails a little bit. I actually do get hit by the ult, but I feel rather safe with my summoners. But what's happening here is that I get greedy, so I try to bait out a full-on engage for them with my heal and flash, but I use it too late, so I actually die to the bomb, which is sad face. A little bit of a misplay by me. But their team comp has an insane poke, amount. What they do here is they greed. They push for the turret, and Kegan cleans them up. Very good job. And, Jameson does a good job there as well. But they have Azir, lot of poke. They have Nidalee, decent poke as well. They have Gragas to peel if anyone, engages full on them, and they have the Azir wall to just shut down any engage. And we have 2 tanks that sort of needs to get in their face in order to be efficient. We have Udyr and whatever that guy is called. Can't remember the name now. The guy with the sword. No one plays him anymore. That's why I can't remember it. You guys are gonna be like, I'll think of it later. But as you can see there, we actually managed to, because of their fail and their greed of pushing the actual Nexus turret, we actually get the Baron, which is good. It helps us a little bit. But here you can definitely see that their setup is really tricky for us. If we were to go in, we will just get disengaged upon so easily with the Gragas ult and the Azir ult, and add to that, the Tristana will just DPS whoever jumps in and gets resets, and it's all their team comp is pretty bad for us. And our poke, our counter poke, it gets shut down by minions, whereas their poke doesn't. We have Ezreal, we have Ashe, and we have Karma. I mean, great poke, but if there's a minion wave, we can't do shit, whereas Azir's poke just slides right through it. So we lost an inhib again, we lost bottom turret, we tried to push it out and do what we did last time when they pushed the lane, and because bottom for them is pushing right now. But, you know, there are super creeps and we can't really get much from it. I do see Azir going in here and I want to try and catch him off. He uses his dash, so I'm just hoping that he stays still, but he doesn't. I miss it, but we still go in, which I think is the right call. There's the annoying wall, but Kengan goes ham, which is a well-played ham went by her. That's English for you. Teleport from Moopy, and we go at it again. We really want to try and pressure this now because Azir is dead. But we don't really manage to because, yeah, again, there are super creeps up against us. So we decide to do the cheeky death brush, where this is where you swoop something, you realize it's not warded, and they might just come and face check it. Hey, this happens at every level. And there's the Nidalee, and there's the Fab Cave. That's a kill. Taking a sip of that jazz. And Azir picks up a little counter kill, but that's fine. He goes in, he tries to get more, he jumps. There comes Tristana with resets. Scary, I flash out. I'm okay. Was that an auto attack being cancelled? Hate that thing as well. I mean, I love it since I survived, but I still hate it. They do get the Baron off of that, which is a little bit annoying. But I'm approaching a very powerful build right now, so I feel pretty good. But the usefulness of me is not really up there because of the team comps. Look at this Braum, he's tanking everything. We do get him down eventually, but I mean, his shield can just counter if there are no minions there, so we can actually poke them. He's just gonna put up his shield. So yeah, heavily outpicked here in a normal queue. So I tried to look for Azir with the arrow there, didn't really hit it, and they are just pushing in with super creeps now, and it's pretty darn rough. And mid is about to respawn, I think, the inhib. They come in with a second push here, and they get the turret. Nidalee's super beefy, doing some decent poke, and they're zoning us out. Dimster very low, Gragas goes in, I try to just peel it, I get a kill. I use my volley, I use my slow, very nice help from Moopy there. He dies for it, but it does save me. Azir goes mega ham, but I actually managed to, well, it was probably his miscalculation more than my skill, but I managed to survive it. He missed his ult, and we go in. Tristana actually flashes for a kill, which is super greedy, so we 4-for-2 them, but mid and bottom inhib goes down, so I mean, if I were them, I'd take that any day. But right now, it's super late game, so what I can do when everyone is dead and there are no objectives on the map is I can push this out for a long time. This will give us a bit of time before those super creeps are gonna reach us. And we want to use that time accordingly. Top is pushing, bottom is pushing. We see that they show up bottom, Braum and Gragas. And if we can find an opening now, then maybe that is our chance. So we look for it, we try and stay mid, Moopy goes out on the side, do the wraiths there, he stays on that side. We see that they're poking around in mid here, we have Gragas there, but we don't have Tristana. So I'm constantly just looking. I'm looking for my arrow. I want to see an opening. I see that Moopy is in place on the side. I see Azir there and I go for it. He does cleanse it straight away, but nice follow-up by Moopy there. A lot of damage. We burn down the Braum and we follow up. Kengan goes super ham for Azir and gets the kill. Very important there. And I just peel. I just don't want this Nidalee to get away, man. I hate when Nidalee gets away. And that's actually for nothing, because we picked the right engage. We probably didn't have a chance if we would have fought anywhere else, if they would have sieged or managed to disengage there because of their setup being heavily in their favor. And Tristana's just gonna try and disrupt the wave. She realizes that we can probably push for the win now, which is exactly what we're gonna do. So I guess what you want to take away from this commentary is that if you look at your team comp accordingly and you know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, make sure you risk making plays where you know that you are stronger. In this scenario, this was the only way we could have won this game, in my opinion. So if you enjoyed this commentary, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Let me know how you play Ashe and what you think of her. I'm still intrigued. And you can also watch the champion preview of her. It's gonna be linked here at the end of the video if you want to, know what changed on her and you have no idea. But anyways, that's it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. This has been Sp4zie, and I am out. Toots!